going to go ahead and square this up. First, let's look at the finished stippling. I hope you did okay on yours. And get on the forum, you know, we'll figure it out. If you have questions, more questions, I will be there for support. I'll be there for support. So just hop on there if you need more help, okay? So let's look. We're going to square this up. We're doing 1/4 of an inch binding. I'm going to kind of line this up with the longest part. And again, you know, if it got a little bit off, well, then it got a little bit off. Okay, so if I line that up, there we go. Just make sure that it's lined up on the same line. And even if you have like a little bit of an 1/8 or whatever, that's fine. Any more than that, because this is going to be right at the edge of it, you don't want it to be crooked. So you do want to make a straight mark, even if your fabric is a tiny bit off, okay? So you still, even if there's going to be a little bit of binding hanging over here, you still want it to be nice and straight, okay? So, and you could do it the opposite and pick the shortest and cut off the extra. But again, if it's really a lot, pick the best medium and go for it to keep it straight. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut off the binding, not the binding, the extra, okay? And you're gonna do this to each side. Line it right up on the fabric, line your ruler up so the lines are the same. And that side came out a little bit better. And cut off the extra. And line it up. And do this all the way around. Okay, so now, before we attach the binding, I wanted to give you, if you want to put a sleeve on it, you might want to do that before you attach the binding. So I'm going to talk really quick about how to make a sleeve. I don't want to make one for this. And the reason being is because I think I'm going to try something like little loops. And I will show you how to do that. But I'm going to do it after I bind the quilt and it's ready to hang and I'm ready to hang it. And so that might come a little bit later in the class, but I will show how to hang that. And I'm going to just do the sleeve right now. So if you want to do a sleeve, what you need is a piece of fabric, maybe a little bit wider than this. I think this is only 4. No, it's 5. So what we do, my husband will take a piece of wood, and since I don't do woodworking and he does, I don't know what the wood is called, but it's a flat piece of wood that you can get over at maybe Lowe's or Home Depot in their wood, you know, where the dowels and things like that are, a little flat stick, almost like a paint stick, okay? And if you have to cut it down a little bit, you know, then to meet this, but you're going to want it to fit in here. So what you need to do is you need one at least the length of the quilt, okay? And you will cut it, and I would say, you know, maybe 6 inches here. So this is 5, maybe do 6 or 7, maybe even up to 8. It's up to you. It depends how fat the wood is that you're going to put in it. And what we've done is I just make this sleeve just like this, and I will cut it to the length. Then I'm going to hem those ends in, okay? So you'll hem those little ends in, and then you'll fold it up like this, and you'll leave it. You're going to pin it on the back here, okay? And of course, the ends are going to be hemmed when you do this, when you pin it, and it's going to get tied in right with the binding. We're going to bind it right into the back. And then usually what I do later is I'll come back with invisible thread and I actually slip stitch it to the back. And I'll show you one that I've done. So here is here is a quilt that I did, and so I got it right in with the binding, and then I slip stitched it. And through here, we put our stick or our little flat piece of wood. We drill holes in it and we hang it. So you can, or have the thread, the string, or whatever you use to hang it, go all the way through and come up like this. And we, hung ours like that. Or you can hang it like this, okay? If that makes sense. If you have questions, ask me in the forum. We'll help you figure it out, okay? So now, the fun part. So again, if you want to put the hanger, then you want to do that before you bind it. That's the way I would do it anyway. You can do it after, I guess, but, and just, slip it all down. Okay, so this took 4. We're going to go over to the sewing machine now, and what we do is we line it up like this. We're going to start, and we want to leave a little bit more of a tail up there, okay? And we're going to start somewhere right in the middle, and we're going to do a continuous binding is what it's called. And let's go over to the machine and do this right now.